Everything you think you know about procrastination is wrong. It's not about laziness, it's not about a lack of willpower, it's actually a defense mechanism. And once you truly understand that, you can finally start to defeat it. So, if you constantly find yourself fighting that urge to put things off, you are in the vast majority. We're talking about 60% of students who are chronic procrastinators. This isn't just some minor flaw, it's a full-blown epidemic that hurts our performance and our well-being. But here's the secret. It only has power over us because we're fighting the completely wrong battle. So here's our plan. We are going to completely dismantle the myth of procrastination. First, we'll expose the trap that so many of us fall into. Then we'll reveal the real diagnosis, which is all about emotion. And after that, we get to the good stuff. The cure. 3 powerful remedies. An immediate tactic for action, a system for creating clarity, and finally, a way to build a psychological engine for motivation that actually lasts. Okay, let's start with the trap itself. You know this cycle, I'm sure. We download the newest, shiniest productivity app, we write out these incredibly detailed to-do lists, and we promise ourselves, okay, this time it's going to be different. We arm ourselves with all these tools, thinking that the right external system will somehow fix our internal resistance. But they never work, do they? The initial burst of organization just fizzles out, and we're right back where we started, just staring at a task, completely unable to begin. And the reason is simple, but it's something we almost always miss. These tools are designed to manage your time, but procrastination was never, ever a time management problem. The very fact that these tools keep failing us actually points us directly to the real diagnosis. The problem isn't located in your calendar or your to-do list, it's in your emotions. And grasping this one truth, well, it changes everything. Here it is. This is the fundamental misunderstanding. The myth is that it's a time management problem, a failure of personal discipline. But the truth, which is backed by decades of psychological research, is that it's an emotional regulation strategy. Let that sink in. You aren't avoiding the task. You're avoiding the feelings the task brings up, feelings like boredom, anxiety, self-doubt, or just feeling like a fraud. As the psychologist Tim Pickles says, it's an emotional coping strategy. And it makes sense, right? Putting off a task gives you immediate relief from those bad feelings. It's a short-term mood fix. But that's the trap. That relief is temporary. The long-term consequences, though, the stress, the guilt, the failure, those are basically guaranteed. We are actively choosing to self-sabotage, all for just a brief moment of comfort. So how do we break this emotional cycle? We start with the most powerful, most immediate tool we have. And it's not about finding more willpower. It's about manufacturing clarity. It's about a simple shift in how we think that takes emotion completely out of the equation. Just look at this contrast. An abstract thought like work on my thesis feels huge and overwhelming. It triggers anxiety because our brain sees it as a giant, undefined threat. But a concrete action like find one transition sentence for section 2, that's small. It's manageable. It's clear. It totally bypasses the emotional debate. The secret is to stop negotiating with your feelings and just ask yourself, what is the absolute next tiny physical action I can take? Now that next action idea, that's our immediate weapon. But to win the war, we need an overall strategy. We need a system to break down all our overwhelming goals into clear, actionable steps from the very start. And that system is SMART. SMART is so much more than a business school acronym. It's a filter. It's designed to remove the very things that procrastination feeds on, ambiguity and uncertainty. It forces you to take a vague wish and hammer it into a concrete, undeniable plan of attack. This isn't theory, it's a practical blueprint. Improve my math grade is a wish that just invites procrastination. But this plan, this is a set of instructions. It's specific. Go from a 12 to a 15. It's measurable. Get a 15 on every test. It's achievable through tutoring and daily practice. It's realistic. 30 minutes a day won't kill my other grades. And it's time-bound, has to be done before the next break. Suddenly, there is zero room left for anxiety. There's only room for action. And this is where those tools like Trello, Notion, or even a simple calendar finally become useful. They aren't the solution, but they are excellent servants to a clear plan. Once your goals are smart, these apps transform from a list of your anxieties into a powerful dashboard for tracking your concrete actions.
But even with the best tactics and systems, we all know that motivation can fade. To build change that really lasts, we have to go deeper. We have to fuel the very engine of human motivation. This is the final and, frankly, the most critical piece of this entire puzzle.
This whole strategy is based on a powerful psychological framework called self-determination theory. It suggests that all humans, no matter their culture, share 3 core psychological needs. When these needs are met, our motivation becomes automatic and self-sustaining. When they're not, we fall apart and procrastinate. All human motivation, everything, is fueled by satisfying these 3 universal needs: autonomy, competence, and social belonging. When these are nourished, our drive becomes internal. It sustains itself. When they are starved, we turn to avoidance. It's that simple. First up, autonomy. This is that deep need to feel like you're the one calling the shots in your own life, that your actions are driven by your own values and choices, not because someone is forcing you to do something. Second, competence. This is the feeling of mastery. It's that incredible satisfaction that comes from getting better at something, from overcoming challenges, and seeing yourself make progress. This is why celebrating small wins isn't just fluffy advice. It's non-negotiable for lasting motivation. And finally, social belonging. This is our fundamental need to feel connected, to feel supported, and to feel like we're part of a community that actually cares. Meaningful, lasting motivation is almost never a solo journey. We thrive when we do it together. So here is your game plan. It's 3 simple steps. 1, act. When procrastination hits, acknowledge the feeling and then immediately take the smallest possible next action. 2, plan. Define every single one of your goals using the SMART framework to eliminate all uncertainty. And 3, fuel. Intentionally design your days and your work to satisfy your core needs for autonomy, competence, and belonging. This is how you build motivation that lasts. You now understand that procrastination isn't a character flaw. It's a signal. The power isn't in an app. It's in understanding your own mind. So I'll leave you with this question. Right now, looking at that one task you've been avoiding, what is your next single concrete action?